It's been a long time, everyone. Gersonzero, and welcome to another episode of Eating with Zero. I'm cheating a little bit today, just a tad bit, because technically I'm not eating. I am consuming something though. Having some black coffee with no sugar or anything. As of this recording, it is January 1st, 2023, which means hashtag New Year, New Me. And boy, do I need a New Year, New Me, because, oh man, what a stressful year 2022 was. And that's what this video is about. I've been on and off with my uploads to the point where I'm non-existent on the platform, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with the occasional upload. I just don't have any time. It's very difficult. And I want to explain, I want to reflect on 2022 and say good riddance to that year. And 2023 is going to be a year that I'm going to have a different outlook on things. I'm just going to take it the way I took it towards the end of 2022. But you're probably wondering, how the hell did you handle the end of the year since you've gone dark for so long? But before I continue, what are you eating? Are you on the same boat as me, dieting? Or are you saying F it and just eating whatever you want? You know, if you're the latter of the two, I envy you. I ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich earlier and I felt guilty as hell. It did taste great though. We have a lot to talk about. I had to take some notes. I took some notes, people, okay? But yeah, so how did everything begin? How did 2022 go for me? Gersonzero, aka Zero X Shinobi. Well, February of last year, while I was celebrating my wife's birthday at the end of that month, we found out that she was pregnant. She was pregnant with another baby. And it was quite a surprise because my oldest son at the time was 7. We kind of decided that we weren't going to have any more kids. And I don't know. I felt like maybe it was time. Maybe it was time to have another child. Financially speaking, I was making, I guess it was just like average money, about $44 a year. It was really nothing, to be honest, especially with New York City prices. It was absolutely nothing. But she was making a lot more than me. In fact, she was making almost double what I was making. And with our combined income, we were pretty healthy. It was just a matter of saving that money. And she wasn't working in that job for too long. I don't even think it was a year. I don't even think it was 6 months. But we were like, okay, I guess we can do this, right? I mean, so we started to save to move out of our shithole apartment. We were living in this apartment that had constant leaks, awful leaks, to the point where whenever I hear dripping, whether it's from a faucet, a bathtub, rain, I immediately get brought back to Belmont Avenue, which is where I used to live. The leaks gave me PTSD. That's how bad it was. A lot of stuff damaged where the leak was occurring. Had a bunch of like video game controllers, cabling, birthday stuff that we can reuse. We had a Christmas tree, a bunch of shit that I guess is not really important, but it was still money that was going down the drain. It was very annoying. You know, we were saving, we were trying to move, and we had a pretty penny saved up. We were ready to get the hell out of there. Fast forward a couple of months, my wife was starting to get some complications, and these complications were causing her to miss work. This is the thing. She worked for an agency. She wasn't a direct hire for the facility that she worked in. And as a result, when she worked for an agency, they were very limited with the time that they grant you. I think they give you like the amount that the state allows every employer to have. I think it's like 7 days or 10 days. I don't remember the amount, but basically that's all you were going to get, which meant every time she was not at work, she wasn't getting paid. I'm making less than her, so now stuff is kind of falling on me. And I'm like, fuck. Like, what the hell, man? Like, I'm a fucking dropout. I'm working a job that just pays an average amount of money. Like, I can't handle this. But, whatever. I'll do some overtime. So I'm doing a little bit of overtime, and it's helping a bit. But the money that was coming in, it was barely enough to cover everything that needed to come out. Fast forward maybe a month or so, she was missing more days than going in to work. And it was very stressful. I didn't know how to handle that. Like, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Granted, we had money saved up, but again, the goal was to move. If we weren't moving, wouldn't be a problem. The money that we saved up would simply just replace the money that she was missing. But because New York City is so fucking expensive, me seeing that money leave the account was really haunting me. So she saw a doctor. The doctor was like, yeah, you can't fucking go to work. You're going to be put on bed rest. And I'm like, okay, how long is this bed rest going to be? Can't be too long, right? She was put on bed rest till January. January. Some sort of disability has to kick in. And has to cover about 2/3 of her pay, right? Her weekly pay. No, yeah, I'm thinking that. Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, it's gonna be A-okay. A couple of weeks passed and she's not getting paid. It's just my income now. I'm going to work and I'm not focusing too much at work. I really don't want to be at work at this point. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? My wife's not feeling well. The baby's not feeling well. And not only that, but I'm getting fucked in the ass financially. Yeah, I want to be at work. Money comes in finally on her end for disability, and the money that's coming in is not very good. In fact, it's not even 2/3 of what she's supposed to be getting. It's about I think it's like 170-ish a week. Because she's getting it bi-weekly, it's more like 330, 340 or some bullshit. Now the income that she was getting weekly has been reduced to this amount bi-weekly. I couldn't believe the amount. I was like, wow, this I think we can make it work, right? We can do this. This is it's just a wrench, but I think that if we move the hell out of the apartment, mind you, I'm still trying to move. If we move out of the apartment, we still have some money saved up. If we move out of the apartment as soon as possible, then I think we'll be good. I'll find a way to find the missing money that we need for all of our bills. I'll figure out a way. But what needs to be done is we need to move the hell out immediately. So we're looking at apartments. We're looking. We're dealing with a leak. The leaks are occurring on a weekly basis, multiple times a week. It's unbelievable. Landlord is a piece of shit. And I'm trying to work some overtime at work. What happens? They dead my overtime. They make an announcement, no more overtime. They're stating approval needs to be made, but then they also emphasize it's not going to get approved. And if you stay over, that's your choice. And I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean it's my choice? Yeah, you stayed past 4, that's on you. You're not getting paid. What am I going to do? I need to fucking find a way to make money. Maybe I need to get another job. I need to find another job that pays more. That's the solution. Then I start remembering that my job is very lenient when it comes to taking time off for the appointments. So I can tell my boss, hey, my wife has a last minute appointment tomorrow. And she'll sign off and say, all right, go. No problem. Because I've been working there almost 2 years. So she's cool with letting me have time off. If I get a new job, are they going to be lenient on the probation period? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. I can't say. I don't even know what to say, So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can get a second job. Maybe that's the solution. I have a Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 schedule. Maybe I can get something on the weekend. Who likes to work weekends? Nobody likes working weekends, which means that there's a void there. Some place needs someone to fill in the shoes on the weekend. So I started applying for shit jobs like Best Buy, Target, Shitstop, all these places that are quite fun to work at, it seems. Target said that I did not meet the requirements. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Best Buy said that they found better candidates. I honestly think they just needed people more than 2 days a week. I think that's what I believe. So I started looking at nursing homes. So I'm looking at nursing homes and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. They have a lot of positions for recreation. You know, helping the viejitos, the old people, on the weekend. And on the weekday, 7 days a week. So a nursing home, right? They're open 24 hours. So I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe I can pitch the weekend to them and they might take me. I applied to a shit ton of them. None of them are calling me. I have no experience working in a nursing home. Okay, I work in a hospital, my main job. And some place calls me. And they go, hey, we're looking at your resume. When can you come in for an interview? I go, whoa, wait a minute. Before I come in for an interview, I just want to know one thing. Because I can't work weekdays. I have another job. I'm only available Saturday and Sunday. But I'm available all day. I would never ask for any days off. Are you willing to give me a chance to work Saturdays and Sundays only? They go, oh, thank God. We were going to ask you if you can work weekends. At least one day. And I go, oh, you're okay with me working a part-time job like Saturday and Sunday? And they go, hell yeah. Come on in for the interview. Go for the interview. And yeah, they love me. You know, they go, well, when can you start? The pay was shit, but you know, whatever. I just needed to supplement my main income to help me pay everything that needed to be paid. So I started working the job. And boy, what an experience it was. Essentially, I'm the fun guy. You know, in the morning, I serve coffee to the old people. I'm a Starbucks worker. That's what I am. I'm a Dunkin' Donuts Starbucks worker. I have a little cart with some coffee. Ask them how much sugar they want, how much cream they want. The ones that are diabetic can have regular sugar. A lot of them will say, yeah, I want a light and sweet. So at first I was thinking to myself, light and sweet? What's light and sweet? Some of them are like, yeah, light and sweet is 3 sugars and 3 milks. And I go, okay, cool. Then the next person says, no, it's 2 sugars and 2 milks. And I go, okay. Then the other person says it's 4 sugars and 4 milks. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I play a lot of dominoes with them. I play card games. I play bingo, my favorite. I'm the only one there on the weekend. It's quite unbelievable. I'm working now my main job and my second job, which meant I'm working 7 days a week. So now I'm not able to really do much on the weekend and on the weekdays. So with the 7 days that I was working, it was really affecting me, like mentally. I was not sleeping well. Every time I woke up, I felt like, you know how like when a fighting game, when you play, anyone who's played like a fighting game like Street Fighter, or if let's say you're playing a beat 'em up games like that game called Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, it goes, go, 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 go. That's what it felt like every time I woke up in the morning. I would be sleeping like this. And then the moment the alarm went off, go, 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 I gotta go to work. And then I would just go to work. It felt like that every single day. And for a while, I was just like running on fumes, dude. It was just like fucking insane. Like I would be at work. My main job specifically was the one that was heavily affected. I was working front desk in human resources. I swear I had like bloodshot eyes. I looked like a freaking demon, bro. I was just like, yo, what the hell am I gonna do here? And I had to put on a mask, you know. I'm talking to people all the time, so you know, I had to be that positive guy. Sometimes I forgot my wife was preggo. Can you believe that? I'm over here working a second job because she's pregnant. Now we're in August. In fact, we're at the end of July. And we found a place, which is where I am right now. We found a new apartment. Thank God. We moved in officially on the 15th of August. So everything seemed to be falling in place. But again, the stress levels were through the goddamn roof, bro. My wife, as she was progressing through the pregnancy, it became bi-weekly visits, then weekly visits, which meant I had to take time off of work. I had to strategize how I was using my time because I didn't want to use all my sick time and all my vacation, all my elective days, and then start to not get paid. My boss didn't really care about taking the time off. It was just a matter of, am I going to get paid or not? Luckily, I had a pretty good amount of time, and I was burning through it rather quickly, which meant, all right, what's going to happen when the baby's born? Am I not going to be able to take any time off because I burned through all my time during the end of the pregnancy? So now we're in September and I'm feeling good. We're living in a nice place. The pregnancy is coming to an end in November, the same day that God of War Ragnarok, November 9. So we go to an appointment and the doctor starts to notice some more complications. The baby has something, I forgot what it was. I don't know if it was like the umbilical cord. I don't remember, okay? Around its neck. Because I'm driving to Manhattan from the Bronx, I can't find parking all the time. So that day, I'm in my car and it's like an hour and a half. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? What's happening here? Like, what the fuck? Like, so I'm texting my wife, like, yo, what's taking so long? She's not responding. And she calls me and she sounds real sad. And Obi was like, yeah, you're going to have to come back. There's a couple of things that we're a little worried about. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? I'm getting raped financially over here and I'm going to come back next week. So the whole bi-weekly thing is non-existent at this point. It's now weekly appointments. And it's getting ridiculous. So, I go home and I'm stressing out. I'm looking at the finances. Go to sleep and wife wakes me up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. She's like, yo, wake up. And I'm like, oh, I work. What? I work. I gotta get up in an hour and a half. She's like, yo, my water broke. And I'm like, yo, you probably just peed yourself. We're in September still. What do you mean your water broke? And I'm looking at her and I'm just like, oh shit, what the hell? I start getting dressed and everything starts to come in slowly. She has like a lot of water coming down. I'm like, whoa, am I gonna drive down there? Because the hospital that she's chosen is like it's deep in Manhattan. I chose to take an Uber. Takes us to the hospital. We get in the hospital. They're like examining her and they're like, well, we don't think you're gonna give birth, but my wife is contracting. And they're like, let's see how many centimeters you are. And none of this shit is making sense to me. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Whatever the amount is that is supposed to be, that represents you're going to give birth, that's what was happening. So we're in the room now. They moved us over to labor and delivery. I'm there chilling. Doctor comes in, her OB. And she's like, yo, I just saw you yesterday. This is insane. She's like, well, let's check. Let's check how many centimeters you are. Let's check your contractions. Let's just see how this goes. It must have been like 12:15 when she came into the room, right? We got there, I think it was like 6 in the morning. So like 6 hours passed. And I'm not paying too much mind to the doctor because one of the things that they told us is that they wanted to keep her there for 2 days before they made an attempt at delivering the baby, which didn't really make much sense to me, but hey, that's what they're saying. The doctor's asking her, all right, so you're going to have to push. Okay, and I'm like, push? The fuck? What do you need to push for? She starts pushing. She's like, yeah, we're going to deliver this baby. And I'm like, what? Like, yeah, what the fuck? I just finished watching Tamron Hall. What do you mean? So my wife is pushing and I'm looking. Some dude comes in, gives her the needle in the back. There's an RN right next to the OB. She's pushing. And then I see a fucking head, bro. And I'm like, yo, what the hell? What's happening here? And she's pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And yeah, no, the baby was born, bro. Baby was born. Dude, when I tell you that... See, my wife had a C-section when she gave birth to our first child. She had a C-section. So she made an attempt at having a natural birth initially. But, complications occurred and they couldn't deliver the baby in that method. They had to do a C-section before it became an emergency C-section. He was like 4 pounds or something like that. This dude was born like 5 and change, bro. So this one was born like almost 2 months early, and he was already heavier than him. This dude was a giant. And unfortunately, because the baby was born so early, he had to stay in the NICU, which is the neonatal intensive care unit. Now I'm back at work after 3 days. I had to constantly go after work to the hospital almost every day, weekly. When she gave birth, I was like, thank God, finally, the financial struggle of constantly going downtown and taking time off of work and stuff like that. Paying for parking, paying for this and that, for gas. I was getting gas like every 3-4 days. It was insane, but it got worse. So now I'm going every day, almost every day. I'm not gonna say every day. It wasn't 7 days. It was like 4 or 5 days, maybe 6. I don't think it was 6. I think it was more like 4 or 5 days a week. We were going down there. Financially, oh my God. I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm working 2 jobs, and at this point, the money coming in was less than the money coming out. I would say about a month passed. They go, hey, did you bring the car seat? And I go, no, I didn't bring the car seat. We didn't buy it yet. And they go, because your son, he might come home tomorrow. And I go, whoa, he might go home tomorrow. Like, yeah, he's doing great. He hit all his milestones. He's ready to go home. We just want to see how he is within the next 24 hours, and we'll give you a call. So it's late. I'm like, oh, man, I need to get a car seat if he has to go home tomorrow. I got to get the car seat tomorrow during my lunch break or something. That shit was expensive. That shit was like $400, bro. Like, no way. I think it was like $5, bro. I think that shit was the price of a PS5. We get it, and I go get him. I'm driving home with the baby. My wife is very happy. She's like, oh, glad the baby's coming home with us finally. I go, I know. I'm driving real scared. I got a baby in the car. Oh, man. Start getting, I have a little bit of a headache. I'm like, fuck. I dropped my wife and the baby home. And the plan was to tell my son, my oldest, Nathaniel, I didn't tell him at all that we were picking up the baby. I wanted to surprise him because he knew the baby was born, but he didn't really have a connection. It didn't feel real to him because he wasn't allowed in the hospital, which sucked. So the baby was in the hospital for exactly a month. He came home the 27th of October. I go get my son at his grandmother's place. He's sleeping. I go, hey, come on, son, come on, we're going home. I touch his head and he's fucking burning up. And I tell his grandmother, my mother-in-law, I go, yo, he has a fever. Did you check him? She's like, no, I didn't know. And I go, yo, he has a fever. He's coughing. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I knew what that meant at that moment. I had a bit of a headache. And I'm like, fucking shit. He just brought the baby home today. This cannot be what I think it is. There's no fucking way. So, we go home. Check his temperature. That shit is at 104, bro. And I go, oh, God, why is this shit happening to me? Sure enough, he was positive. And I go, oh, no fucking way. No fucking way. This cannot be happening on the day that our son comes home. We all got the fucking C thing. So I test myself, I was positive. I tell my wife that she is lit on fire. I don't understand how we caught it. And I was just like, yo. So I immediately put my mask on. But, we're not even getting near the baby. My son still does not know that the baby's home. My wife gets tested, she's positive too. So immediately she starts to fucking flip out. She's like, we gotta take him back and blah, blah, blah. I go, listen, no. Look, you go in the room with him and you stay in the room with your mask on. You stay away. I think we're good here. So she calls the doctor. Doctor's like, fucking shit. Well, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna stay isolated away from the other two men in the home. It's just gonna be you. The baby's crying. my oldest, Nathaniel, he hears the baby. And he's like, is mommy on the phone with Matthew? And I go, oh, I'm not gonna tell him this. He's gonna want to hug him and shit. He sees my wife come through the living room to go to the kitchen. And he sees the baby. He's like, what the hell? The baby's here. And I go, yeah, baby's here, man. And yeah, he was really happy to meet his brother for the first time under these very odd circumstances. I'm over here at home for about a week. I'm looking at my backlog. I'm like, all right, let me see. Let me play some Doom. Doom 2016. Let me go ahead and play it. I played Doom and beat it. I beat Cuphead for like the third time because I beat it on Steam when it came out. I beat it on Switch when that came out. I beat the DLC on Switch as well. So now on the PS5, I beat Cuphead, the base game. I didn't get to touch the DLC yet. Stayed up late every day. It was quite fun. We took the mask off and we're hanging around the baby. And things started to feel normal. People started to come over. It was nothing like when my wife gave birth to Nathaniel, where everybody went to the hospital to see the baby. It was like this joyous occasion. And again, our first child was also a preemie. He was born about, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks early. But it was still this occasion where everybody came to the hospital. And while he was also in NICU for a couple of weeks, he wasn't there as long as Matthew. The day he came home, people came to see him, and it was this celebration of birth. That's it. We're in January now. Right now, I'm working a new job. I'm getting paid a little bit more. Under my nursing home job, I'm getting paid more now as well. While I'm still catching up with a lot of the finances, a lot of the bills, a lot of stuff is still kind of getting to me. My head is above water. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's just fucking crazy. Like, the wrench that gets thrown my way in life, it's something else. A couple weeks ago, I go to my car, and they friggin' broke the back windshield of my vehicle, man. Insane. Some total savage shit. And the insurance giving me a nice crossed middle finger when it comes to getting assistance because it's under $1,000. They're saying go fuck myself. Hi, mister. Nice. Wanna see her?
Hi.
But you know what? Even with all the BS that I went through, 2022, it's a learning experience. It was worth it in my opinion. I don't care. If I had a time machine and I go back through time, I'll do it all over again. Because this little guy right here, he is too cute. Mister! My baby. And your mommy then? You want to show everyone what you're eating? Uh-oh. Alright everyone, I'll hit you up later.